After months of construction at 2200 Ashland Street, the severe weather shelter is ready to open its doors just in time for winter. Right now, we're taking a live look at Ashland, where that shelter is set to open tomorrow. Newswatch 12 has been closely following the shelter's development since the city acquired the building in 2023. And now we're bringing you an exclusive first look. Thanks for joining us on Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Oscar Rodriguez. Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz joins us live at that shelter right now after getting a tour earlier today. Grace, what can you tell us about the opening?
Yeah, thank you, Oscar. I am live in 2200 Ashland Street, which is Ashland's inclement weather shelter that is set to open tomorrow. Like you said, we have been following as a news team this shelter and its ups and downs throughout its construction that started a couple months ago and when it was acquired in 2023. Now, as of today, I was able to get in here a little bit early and get a sneak peek of what's been going on. As you can see around me, there are a ton of beds, and Aura is getting ready to make sure it's ready to open tomorrow. I was able to speak with the executive director of Aura today while doing my tour about where they see this shelter going and where it can go in the future.
Try and get as many unhoused persons off the streets into this shelter that don't have to plan every night where they're going to stay for that night. It's going to be about 30 beds and possibly a little more. And then in inclement days where there's other days that are below freezing, between that time, we're going to open up space and overflow in the building.
The 30-bed facility, complete with showers, laundry services, and secure storage for guests seeking refuge from the severe weather, has been a long time in the making. The city first purchased the building in 2023.
We'll also have a meal in the evening that's going to be prepared by our kitchen and volunteers at the Aura Center just a few blocks down. And then we're going to have staff here working with them to make sure that they're safe and settled, and the staff will be here overnight.
In August, the city approved a nearly $1 million contract with a construction company to help bring the building up to fire code, with the money coming from federal grants and opioid settlement funds. With the shelter opening under the management of Aura, which also helps operate Ashland Night Lawn, officials hope that eventually they can expand the space into something bigger.
But I think the goal of the building, as the community and city council wanted it, was really to be offices for support services for that sort of tier of unhoused folks that maybe are ready to get back into the workforce.
But even under their management, Aura stresses that they also need help from the community to help run the shelter.
We really need a lot of volunteers this winter, and we're hoping to provide some orientation, some training, and ability to just get back to the community through us.
Now, there is still a little bit of final touches to be put onto this shelter, and there are Aura employees here right now making sure that it's up and ready to go for tomorrow. This shelter is set to stay open until April 1st, and a closer look at the shelter and stories we've done on the shelter in the past can be found on our website. Reporting live in Ashland, I'm Grace Ritz.
Thank you, Grace. Now let's take a live look at Klamath Falls, where the Snowflake Festival is beginning to ramp up. And we'll get live coverage from Sam and Sarah, who are getting ready for tonight's parade in just a few minutes. But first, let's check in with our Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist, Matt Hoffman. Matt, what can folks expect this evening if they're heading out to the parade tonight?
Well, it should be mainly dry, but it will be a bit chilly as we head out the door this evening. Let's take a look outside right now. We're contending with a lot of clouds. A weak system is moving in, and it will bring a few showers into parts of southern Oregon. Can't totally rule out a shower or a sprinkle in Klamath Falls, but more than likely just looking at mostly cloudy skies this evening. By 7 o'clock when the parade gets going, about 37 degrees, but winds will be fairly light, so we won't have much of a wind chill factor. It's good news there. Taking a look at the satellite and radar imagery, you can see a few showers have started to push into the region, especially up near the Cascades and then also into Douglas and Coos County. A few showers have now started to push in along the coast into Curry County as well. Can't rule out a shower also into the Rogue Valley for Medford and Grants Pass as we head into tonight. Currently 48 degrees in Medford. It's 40 in Klamath Falls, 46 degrees in Montague, and 54 along the coast in Brookings and Gold Beach. Tonight, plenty of clouds, maybe a little bit of patchy fog in some of our west side valleys. We'll also keep that potential, at least a slight chance for a shower into southern Oregon. Some better chances, though, closer to the coast and then especially up along the Cascades. Tomorrow, though, rain looks to become more widespread as we go through the course of your Friday. Rather cloudy in southern Oregon, mostly cloudy down into northern California, and winds will be be picking up for the Cascades, the coast, and the east side as we go through the course of the day. Tomorrow, temperatures up to around 50 in Medford, as well as Klamath Falls, 55 in Wairika, and 57 degrees in Brookings. So snow levels looking to be high. Even Crater Lake looking at just rain tomorrow with the precipitation. Notice those winds as we go through the course of your Friday, picking up for parts of the region. Fairly light winds in the Rogue Valley, but it's a higher terrain, especially along the Cascades, where we're going to have some gusty conditions for tomorrow and really through the weekend. And this is beginning a fairly active stretch of weather for the Pacific Northwest, but notice much higher precipitation totals to our north. We'll take a closer look at how much rain we can expect through tomorrow and, of course, your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. Oscar?
Thank you, Matt. And a developing story, the effort to recall Josephine County Commissioners Andreas Black and Chris Barnett is now moving forward after more than 6,400 signatures were verified in each recall petition. Commissioner Barnett has issued a statement following the signature verification, following the petition's legitimacy into question. He says when Chief Petitioner James Goodwin resigned from the county, he agreed the full and final release of any disputes. In that statement, Barnett said, quote, his recall effort appears inconsistent with the terms he agreed to and may constitute a potential breach of contract, end quote. Barnett has filed for a temporary restraining order, preliminary injunction, and permanent injunction to halt the recall process, but that has not been granted at this time. Andreas Black is running for re-election in May and has not made a public comment on the recall. If Barnett's petition does not go through, the decision will be left over to the voters on January 6th. Construction on stations 15 and 13 is making progress. Medford Fire Department says work is continuing to stations 15 exterior framing and other structural elements. At Station 13, roofing on the bay extension is beginning and interior framing is set to begin soon. Firefighters continue to respond out on both stations during this construction. And Rogue Community Health has signed a lease with the City of Talent to bring a federally qualified health center to 49 Talent Avenue. Doors are set to open during spring of next year, with improvements on the property set to begin as early as next January.
It's a real need. This is filling a real important gap in our community.
The clinic will provide medical and behavioral services to all community members, regardless of income or insurance status, an approach that Iris Flood spoke about glowingly.
That's what makes Rogue Community Health the perfect partner in our community, is that they have a real holistic approach to healthcare, and they're partnering also with existing healthcare in our community by partnering with Talent Clinic.
I also spoke with Rogue Community Health CEO Kalissa Warnke, who explained what citizens can expect from the clinic.
As a federally qualified health center, we actually are open and welcome to all, regardless of your insurance status or your ability to pay. And that really looks like a sliding fee scale. So your services, the cost of that is based on your income and family size. Our model is that we really think it's a whole person care. So your medical and your behavioral health, mental health, wellness, it all kind of comes together. So it's an opportunity to do it all within one building and warm handoffs.
Rogue Community Health and the mayor of Talent both expressed that they are completely aligned with this project and can't wait to see its completion. Reporting in Talent, I'm Daryl Green.
A Trump administration's new proposal to allow economic costs to influence whether a species is protected is putting the Endangered Species Act's future in question. The administration argues rolling back parts of the act is necessary to accelerate development and boost jobs, especially in the industries like logging, mining, housing, and infrastructure. Supporters say the reduced habit restrictions could lower costs and speed economic growth. But conservation groups warn the cost might be too high. At the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center in Grants Pass, experts say laws like the ESA give species a chance to recover, and without them, the recovery they've witnessed might not exist.
Our peregrine falcon, which are the fastest animals on Earth today. And they were very close to becoming extinct. If we start putting economics and other factors into the decision process, it can be skewed so badly. Science will take a back seat and it'll be a disaster for wildlife.
Public comment on the proposed changes ends on Friday, December 22nd, and we'll have the full story tomorrow morning at 5:30 and 6:30. And Klamath Falls has been transformed into a winter wonderland as they prepare for tonight's 41st annual Snowflake Parade. And it's one of the biggest holiday events in our region, and it's less than 2 hours. We're joined by Samantha Cadera and Sarah Crest in Klamath Falls, and as well Daryl Green joining the party but in White City. And we'll check with Daryl in just a few minutes. But first, Sarah, Sam, how's Storm Runner looking?
She looks pretty great right now. We have it decked out in lights. Me and Sam have been working hard to get it together.
We really have. I think everyone should take a look. Look at it was mostly Sarah, I've got to say. Take a look at all the lights that we put up. And we're in the staging area right now before the parade is set to begin. But there's so many floats that are
We've
lining
had
up.
a lot of people come and show us theirs. And our next shoot in the 6th, we'll be showing you some of those floats that you'll see when the parade starts at 7. But one thing out here, me and Sam are a little bit cold. It is
cold here.
Pretty chilly.
Yes,
so
it
guys,
is.
make sure you're bundling up before you head out. And Matt did mention this morning, maybe a chance for a light sprinkle, but right now, mostly cloudy and looking pretty dry.
Yeah,
so.
it looks great. And also, I have to say, before we say goodbye, right behind us, there is a 89-year-old fancy,
Should we take a look?
red. Yeah, take a look at this truck. It's an 89-year-old red classic truck behind us. So you should keep your eye out for that as well. But I mean, of course, keep an eye out for us in the parade. We're the most important.
Oh yeah, make sure you're waving too. We would love to see you guys. But again, we'll have more details on what you can expect in the parade. Take a look at more floats coming up for you guys next at 6.
Thank you, Sam and Sarah. Hopefully you brought some of those headbands for Matt and I. And with the holidays also comes that season of giving. So let's turn it over to Daryl in White City. Daryl, tell us about the holiday toy drive.
Yeah, Oscar, take a look at this. I'm currently at Grange Co-op in White City, and if you can't tell by the smile on my face, I'm in the holiday spirit. Now, speaking of the holiday spirit, we've kicked off our annual toy drive to ensure that every kid gets some holiday cheer. For those who are looking to participate, all you have to do is drop off unwrapped toys at one of our partnering Grange Op locations throughout the Rogue Valley and in Klamath Falls. And it's that simple. That's all you have to do to make sure that the kids have a smile as big as this one. For now, Oscar, in White City, I'm Daryl Green.